I'll take rain over snow. It's cold. It's not nice out here, but it's not quite cold enough to snow here yet. Got a message from my friend up on Pines Edge Farm. I'll include a link into the comment section here. They've got snow up there. They can keep it. Today, we've got the Farmall. We're doing some maintenance on it. And as you'll see in the video, a couple weeks ago I changed the oil on the Farmall. And I've been running it a lot with the kids, but a lot of short trips. We probably had it out 30 times. But each time maybe is running about, I'm gonna say about 15, 20 minutes a time. So a lot of short trips, and it's still cold outside. It's always been cool. You'll see that the oil I took out of the tractor looked pretty milky. Now that oil only had about 5 hours on it, on a fresh oil change. It looked pretty bad. So today we're gonna try to rule, was it sludge, starting to work its way out? Blown head gasket? Was it condensation? Or was it something else? I don't know that we'll have the answer yet by the end of the day. But I will tell you, we're gonna start narrowing it down to get this tractor up and running good before the summer hits, because we've got a lot of projects between that one and the old Farmall. So stick with me today. Let's see what we can find out with some of this testing, and we're gonna cross them tight. Well, after checking the oil and noticing some condensation looking on the dipstick, looked a little further into it and it looked a little bit worse than I thought. This oil has maybe 3 to 5 hours on it. Fresh motor oil, and it looks like this. I don't notice any steam. I don't notice it running strange, except what I'm seeing in the oil pan here. Now the Cub had been draining all night. It's drained all that it's going to drain. And at the very bottom of the oil pan, it looks more milky. Can't really get your finger too far in there, but it is fairly white again on the bottom. The oil that I drained, a lot of absorbed into these old shop rigs, is gonna get rid of anyways, but it was a little bit milky. So one of the suggestions today is it could have been from the condensation. So the suggestion was fill it up with fresh oil and let it run until it's good and hot for an extended period of time. There, we're gonna get close to the 3 quarts and check it a couple of times. All right, I think we're getting close. They sure don't give a lot of clearance. There we go. Get it seated. Now the engine has not run. Yeah, so we're just, when it's laying at an angle, we are just a fraction over full. When I say fraction, I guess that doesn't exactly make sense. Here's the full line. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. And at an angle as it sits in the oil pan, one part is just at the fill line and it goes at about a 45-degree angle again as it sits in the oil. So I think we're going to call it good there. Okay. So we got fresh oil in there, an oil filter with about those 5 hours on. We get good pressure. What we're going to do is the rest of the test, which is we're going to pop the radiator cap off because it's not hot yet, so we won't have any pressure for sure. Start it up, run it for a bit, watch that, watch the fluids, the levels here, watch the levels there, and get it up and get it running hot. I don't know, we'll see. If not, we've got the head gasket on the way. Should be ready to go. Yeah, I knew she was a little cold. Alright, bear with me with the noise here. Something I did not mention in the beginning, right before I took off the radiator cap and showed you that part, I had actually put just a little bit of coolant in to bring it up to a level that I could kind of see real well and very clearly if the coolant had dropped at all after running it. Well, it's going to look like it dropped because it's coming out the overfill. You see down here. So I likely overfilled the coolant, so that part of the test will not be as helpful. But I just wanted to point that out of transparency. It is dripping a little bit of coolant, and I only put a splash in, but it looks like as much as I put in, about that much has come out. So, transparency, guys. We're about 20-25 minutes into it. It has been 1 hour and 15 minutes that it's been running. 1 hour and 15 minutes. Okay, so the coolant on the ground, I am relating that at this point, I'm relating the coolant on the ground to overfilling the radiator, which I did before I started this process to make sure all the levels were topped off. I made a mistake. Nonetheless, it's not real cold outside. But we have let the tractor run an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes. Now I'm not working it because it's raining and sloppy outside, but that's what we got for temps on the block. So not real hot, but good oil pressure. So let's see, after the tractor's been sitting, take the first one and wipe it off. So we'll see what the oil looks like after we ran it, after it had the chance to sit and drip down into the oil pan. So we're going to look at the characteristics of the oil and the oil level. Okay. So it is going to be a little hard to pull up on camera. So there's the full line, and if I tip it in the light just right, because the oil is so clear, it does go at an angle. It does just touch the full line. Now this is interesting. So the oil is completely, as I would expect, clean and clear. There's no milkiness, no sludginess. Yeah, that's a word, right? There's nothing suspicious to it, except what I wiped on it from the rag. Huh. Check one more time here. So is it possible that this was related to condensation? I suppose it's possible, but that just seemed excessive. Boy, that's tight. Yeah, the oil again looks brand new. So maybe, I guess time is going to tell. But I don't think we're going to yet check into the head gasket. I'll kind of tie in these videos so you can see how bad the oil looked yesterday when I removed it. So, yeah. Well, now we know that the oil looks brand new. The coolant levels, the engine is still pretty hot. Okay, so the coolant will actually look up from what it is, but I'll show you the color and clarity. Yeah, so it'll show a little bit higher with the expansion, but the coolant looks great. So, guess we'll find out. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Any input, if you guys think of anything, any suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just keep on tractoring, as John Ritter says from A Ritter Bit Will Do. So, take care, guys.